What are the best ways to use a credit card to build your credit? Hi, my name is Bianca Zamora. I have over 20 years of experience in the credit and financial industry, and I'm here to help as many people as possible get credit savvy so that they can take their credit and financial opportunities to the next level. This is part 12 of a 20-part series where I'm answering the most researched questions when it comes to credit and debt. Today's question and answer session will discuss the best strategies that you can use to build your credit using a credit card. So if you're trying to build your credit traditionally, you're going to obviously apply for a credit builder credit card. This could be a secured credit card, a very easy to get retail credit card, or in some cases you might be able to get a credit card if you have a credit score, such as a Capital One, Credit One, something along those lines. Now again, bearing that you have been able to get approved for a credit card, the next thing that you want to make sure that you do is only utilize maybe 10% of your credit limit each month, and then you're going to pay off that balance each month once you get the bill. So for example, if your credit limit is $300, you will really only charge no more than $30 a month on that card, and then once you get the bill, you'll go ahead and pay it off. Doing this will ensure that you never go past this 10% mark, where if you do use more than 10% of your credit limit, banks are now considering that to be overutilizing your credit cards. So this is something that has changed. It used to not always be like this, but again, if you use more than 10% of your credit limit, you're going to find that your credit score will start to actually decrease versus increase with time. Now, if you are looking to get your creditor to increase your credit limit, one strategy that I've seen that does work is you can actually charge the card up each week. So for example, if your credit limit is $300, you can charge the card up to $250 each week, and then you have to pay off that balance at the end of each week, okay? So you have to be really careful with this, because if you do not pay off that balance every week, it is possible that you may run into a situation where your credit limit or your credit balance is reported on a date that your balance is higher than what it should be. So you have to be really careful with this strategy. Make sure that you're always paying off your card at the end of each week, not on your due date. So you're using and paying off the card very quickly and rapidly, and lenders will see that activity, and in some cases that will trigger them to automatically increase your credit limit, and you can continuously do this until you reach the credit limit that you prefer. Now again, this is traditional credit building strategies. Now, something that's a little bit non-traditional is to be authorized on an existing credit card. So an authorized user account is an account which your name is added to that has already existed prior to you getting listed on the card. So this is going to be a credit card that maybe your parents have, your uncles, your aunts, or maybe some close family members or friends that have established good credit history and credit cards, and then they add you as an authorized user onto one of these cards. If you do this, this is going to allow you to essentially inherit the history that has already been generated on that account. So this can really work to your favor. It can also be a problem in the future, but if the account is always in good standing, you will inherit the years that that account has already been established. So if it's a 5-year-old account, a 10-year-old account, you will now have a 5 or 10-year history on your credit report. And then you'll also inherit the payment history and the credit limit and the balance on that account. So it can appear to creditors and the credit bureaus that you've had established credit history for much longer than what you actually have had. This will obviously allow your credit score to increase much more rapidly, and then you could yourself go and apply for a higher tier credit card that you know you have a good chance of being approved for after you've done your due diligence and your research. Now, keep in mind that if the utilization on that authorized card does increase, that is going to impact your credit score, or if a late payment is made on that account, it again will impact your credit score as well. So just be very careful that you choose people that have very good credit history to authorize you on one of their accounts. You are also able to purchase authorized user accounts, but I just want to caution people that are looking to do that these accounts are typically added on a temporary basis or a limited amount of time. So for example, if you purchase what they call a seasoned trade line, which is an authorized user account, that trade line will typically only appear active on your credit report for a short amount of time, usually about 90 days or so. After 90 days, you will be removed as an authorized user, so the account could still appear on your credit report, but it will no longer be active, and so it will no longer help in boosting your credit rating. These accounts can be very expensive, hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars, depending on where you go to purchase them. And again, banks, for the most part, do know that these accounts are not yours. So you just want to be very careful if you're out here purchasing a bunch of trade lines. You want to make sure that you try to get trade lines that are people that you know and people that you can trust. Now, if you need help building your credit, you can definitely schedule a free consultation with me. I'll be more than happy to provide you with the best possible recommendations when it comes to building your credit or using credit cards to build your credit profile.